Hello everyone, it is your DJ for life, and I am coming to you from the 1880 town, which is off the exit 170 on I-90 here in South Dakota. And I've driven past it for many years now, but have never stopped. Actually, I did stop last week, but when I did the video, I realized that the audio did not work. So I am here doing it again, and I'm going to make sure the audio works this time because I figured out how to have it display so I don't make mistakes like that again. Anyway, so 1880 town was purchased by a guy named Richard Hullinger in 1869, or at least the land for it was. And at the time, he didn't have any, envisions or plans to make an attraction. A few years later, he ended up purchasing or he ended up building a gas station here, which is right over here that you can see. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it without my big head in the way. But he built that. This place is also famously known for Dances with Wolves artifacts, along with some other things. There's a famous cowboy. I can't remember the name right now, but we'll see it as we go in here. And currently this place here has replicas of buildings anywhere from about 1880 to 1920. So a 40-year span that they have here. Another thing too is that a lot of the set or a lot of the buildings here are used in a movie. I don't know specifically if all of these were mainly in the Dances with Wolves movie or if it's just that they have some of their artifacts here from the movie, but on their website it talks about an 1880 era movie that was made here, and when winter came, the set was essentially given to them so they could use it. Richard's dad, Clarence, had a lot of the building or the artifacts that were used for that movie, and then the producers said that they could have the rest of this stuff here. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Alright, so right out here they have a few different rocks that welcome you. This says Foundation Rocks from Fort Sully Hospital, 1863 to 1892. It says gift from George and Dorothy DeYoung, if I'm saying that correctly. But here are this rock here. Really wish I knew which one that one was, what kind that was, but I'm not really quite sure. And then it has an American flag waving proudly above. And over here you can see a wood-carved eagle, which you could imagine all the hours that go into making something like that. Very awesome. Looks like it's all from one piece too. And then over on this side here, they have what looks like to be a big anchor chain. Not really sure the connection between that and this place. And just a few more rocks to kind of look at. And here we go on in. But before we go in, let's take a look at this guy. He's just hanging out here. I don't know if he's maybe one of the greeters here. Looks like there's some probably cat food. I know I saw some cats around here before. And then this sign, being a tribute to the spirit of the American pioneer. This project was our way of celebrating the century of South Dakota statehood from 1889 to 1989. So it became a state in 1889. And just a few more kind of bragging rights here. It looks like. Alright, so when you first come in, you are greeted here with a picture of Mount Rushmore, which is not too far from here, but a little bit closer to Devil's Tower along the route, probably a little over 100 miles away. And then here we have a Longhorn horn replica, not the real ones here. 1870 French coach. And other little knickknacks that you can buy. All the stuff here is available for purchase if you want to take a little bit of it home with you. And here they have a dog-powered treadmill. It is actually used for churning. It says 70 years ago, make him earn his meat and mush. So there you have it, where dogs were instrumental in making butter apparently in the past. And here we have some saddles and a nice stained glass window, which is kind of hard to see on camera because of the light shining through. And giddy up, we have a horse. Here's a piano that you aren't supposed to play, but they do have Longhorn replicas as we saw coming in for sale. Alright, let's take a look here at the famous Dances with Wolves artifacts. We're greeted here with well, behind the scenes from Dances with Wolves. It says here, Kevin's dad with wound for Civil War scene. And then here they're getting ready for a take at St. David's Field. And another interesting thing says, to get it right, Kevin cut his own boot in hospital shots. It was all close up, so nobody was the wiser. I'm going to have to watch that movie again and see what scene they're talking about. I have the movie at home, but I haven't seen it for such a long time. It used to be one of my favorites as a kid. And then we come in and we're greeted by a few dead buffalo. We got this one over here. This one doesn't look like it's dead, at least. Here is the Civil War operating table. One of the tables here that they used in the movie. And here's one of the horses used in the movie. It says here that is the name Cisco. And we got a crow on it, and back there we have a wolf howling to the moon. Some more clothing articles here. These are from the movie. Got a breastplate and headdress. Here we have, it says it's a quilled war bonnet worn by a stone calf. Not sure if that's Cisco when he wasn't dead, but probably another one of the props they used for some of the shots. Well, obviously it would be. Giddy up. Here we have some stained glass. It's a little easier to see this one since it's not directly in the sun. Very ornate, pretty. Sawtooth that has some decorations here on it. And I can't remember where this is, but I feel like I've seen that sculpture before. I'm not sure if it's at that Porter's Sculpture Park or if it's a different place, but again, it looks familiar. I'm not sure why. Here we have survivors of the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876 at a reunion in Black Hills of South Dakota on September 2nd, 1948. And ironic thing, when I was here before and the audio wasn't working, one of the guests here, this was, I forget which one, but one of them in this picture was their like great grandpa. So it was kind of cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but it was pretty cool just knowing that there's some descendants that are around and visiting this area. There's a bridle worn by Buck, also known as Cisco, throughout the movie. So I guess Cisco has another name. Or actually Buck had another name. Dances with Wolves won 7 Oscars in 1990. That's pretty cool. Different magazines here and the book Dances with Wolves. I'm not sure which came first, if it was the book or the movie, but I'm going to guess the book came first. Generally that seems to be how it happens. Alright, and here we are in the 1880 town setup. There are a lot of buildings here. Definitely we are not going to be going through all of them. So I'll just kind of hit a few highlights as we go and hopefully give you a good idea of what's around here and enough to come out and check it out. I mean, definitely worth it. So over here we have where you can pick out some of these quartz, I believe it is. I think it's a rose quartz, which is up front as well. Yep, the rose quartz. So you can buy some of these and they look really cool. If you have room and want to take some home. And then in here we have, I believe this is another replica here of Cisco, or Buck, as we found out earlier. Hey boy. Painted replica here. And then over here we have stagecoach or a wagon, I guess, used in the film. And then here it says prairie wagons used by Dunbar, which was Kevin Costner, and Timmons, Robert Pastorelli, on the trip from Fort Hays to Fort Sedgwick. So this is the wagon they used in the movie. And over here, not really sure what this was, if it was maybe a water wagon or what. If you know what it's used for, leave a comment, and I'm not quite knowledgeable on this here. Kind of looks like it could be, as what looks like to be a spout coming out anyway, so could have been a water wagon. And then over here, I'm not really sure what this is, but I just kind of thought it was neat. Probably a chicken coop, as it has home, says home tweet home right here. So my guess is some sort of chicken coop at one point, which looks like it has newer roofing than the building itself. All right, so in here is the museum here for the cowboy that I was trying to think of earlier, and that is Casey Tibbs, who lived from 1929 to 1990. And I forgot the name, but I knew it was an easy one to remember once I actually thought of it. But they have some nice sculptures here as you come in. Don't want to touch that and break it, that's for sure. And over here we have a sculpture of Casey Tibbs, the famous Bronco rider. Different Casey Tibbs pictures and artifacts here. Apparently he was a 9-time world champion, saddle Bronco, 2 times all around, from the 1950s and 60s. These are different clothing articles that belonged to Casey Tibbs before. Here's the last buckle, won by Casey Tibbs. Then over here it says commemorative saddle, won by Lester Holland in Webster, South Dakota in 1998. And then we have Buffalo Bill's Wild West, which was a show put on by William Frederick Cody, which is better known as Buffalo Bill. And he has a museum or a center in Cody, Wyoming, which I also did a video on, so if you want to check that out. But he is all over the place. It says the Irma, which was Cody's or Buffalo Bill's daughter. It's a hotel that actually is still in Cody. It also has a saloon attached to it. Annie Oakley, which ran with Buffalo Bill for many years. Nice little setup. This one caught my attention last time here too. It says, in 1890, in South Dakota, 350 men, women, and children were killed by the U.S. Cavalry. This is their leader, Bigfoot, who also died. In 1890, the circle is broken. And then here is a longhorn steer. It says this Texas longhorn steer was one of 4,000 head driven from Texas to northern Wyoming in 1889. On the last day of the drive, his neck was broken when he was roped. The head was mounted and hung in the Butte County Bank at Belle Fourche in 1890 until the bank sold in the 1940s. Look how unbelievably long those horns are, which obviously is where they get their name from. As we can see here, they do still have Longhorn Ranch. And that guy's looking at me, so hopefully he doesn't mind me being here. Doesn't seem like he does. And then over there, a little harder to see, but there's still some more over there sitting around. And those ones over there don't look like they have horns, so I'm not sure if they're the longhorns or just young ones. But you can see, I think that's a church there in the distance, or a school. We'll try and take a look at that here if we... And here is the Draper Hotel. I bring this one to attention because in Cody, Wyoming, at the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, there is a museum called the Draper Natural History Museum, and they have that's a connection here. So, and the lady that it's named after, actually I think just recently passed away, like in the last couple years or so. But here's the hotel. We can't go inside because it's too run down in there, but just wanted to point that out. And then also right next to it we have the Longhorn Saloon, which inside is actually pretty elaborate. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are inside the Longhorn Saloon, where we have a roulette type wheel. Not sure if it's used in the same way or how it was used, but very pretty, very pretty. And then here is where you can watch shows, as long as you don't get eaten by the vulture, but you can watch shows, people play on the piano, and piano over there. Not sure if it's actually still used today for any shows. I doubt it, but you never know. They do have some paintings along the way. It's very red in here. Here is a old bathtub. And it says, this late 1800s Mosley foldable bathtub was featured on the episode 8th Grade Humor on season 3 of American Pickers. So that's kind of cool. Inside here we just have some paintings. Just different paintings of the Western theme here. And some good old rocking chairs. So here's that room. A little closer look here of that room. Got the red chandelier over there. Red bedding. Could be set for a honeymoon retreat. And if you take a close look there, you can see a lion as part of the arm of the chair. And here is a view from atop. You can see the chandelier right there, and you can see the stage there for the different shows that they had. All the people down there. And they have some pictures up here, which it looks like that lion really cares about the lady that had passed away right there. And is that the murderer? Not sure. Kind of looks like he's guilty right there. And even these light bulbs are pretty ornate. Have decorations on those too. And one cool thing here, if you look out, you can see the fire hall there, the red building in the distance. And they have different views here of the different buildings as we go through. We'll take a look at the fire hall probably. Here is the homestead. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure exactly exactly what that was, if I said it was a school or something, but it is a church and it is closed, so I'm not going to go up and take a look at it. But back here is where we have the homestead. So let's take a look. So here we are at the homestead. We got a little shack here. Let's see if we can go in it. Which we can't. It's locked up. But if you look inside, you can see looks like a bed. Oh, here. Maybe if I go up a little bit. Looks like a bed, and then over to the other side, kind of looks like a crib. Maybe we'll circle around. There's another window over there. And then looks like, I don't know, it's hard to see even without the camera. But there's a saddle and a table over there. Let's go around and see if we can see a little better in here. There we go. Now we can see. There is a bed, chest right there, and then looks like, yeah, this here is a crib. And then over there is a table and stuff set up. So just a little bit of stuff in there. And then back here, oh, maybe we can get in through this way. I'm not sure. Nope, we can't. And then here is probably their outhouse that they used. Oh, and that picture that I saw with the T-Rex skeleton, now I know why it looks familiar. Maybe hard to see, but right there in the distance, that's where it is. I knew it looked familiar and I've seen it before, I just didn't know exactly where. One of those things where you end up realizing it after the fact. But here, let's see if we can take a look inside here. Yep, there it is. The good old outhouse. Sure, I'm glad we don't have to use those much anymore. Except for modern day porta potties, which are pretty gross. Unless you get lucky and have a nice one, but it's not very often. And here they have the clothesline. And then up there is the old windmill. And here's an outlook that you can go up. and oversee the area. So you can see the Longhorns there, the closed church there, and some poop down there. Gross. And then you can see the whole 1880 town from up here. And the horses hanging out down there. Got an old fire engine holding water, waiting for some fires to be pulled by a horse and buggy. Well, to be pulled by a horse. That is the buggy. And then here we have the fire hall. Look at those huge wheels. My goodness. Wonder how many feet in diameter that is. And then here we have a setup of something, but I really don't know what it is, to be honest. And it doesn't say. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. Kind of dusty, so hopefully you can see it okay. And in case there's a real fire, here is a fire extinguisher. And outside, we can ring the bell. Fire! That one doesn't give out much sound. So, let's see about this one. So there you go. You can see it from the back a lot more easily than you can, or a lot easier than you can see it from the front, mainly because of the sun from the other side is kind of blocking out a good view of it. Let's see here. We can zoom in and get a good shot. So there you have it. There is the tour of the 1880 town. Obviously I didn't get everything in there. Not everything is super fancy or interesting maybe to everyone, but I got some of the highlights, and hopefully you can get out here and take a look yourself. It's on exit 170 on I-90 here. And if you'd like, check out some of my other videos that I have. I have some from Concordia, Kansas right now that are posted on the Orphan Train Museum and the Lake Town Museum that they have there. I forget the name of it, if it's just the Concordia Museum or what it was called. But I have that. I do have a couple videos of different taste testing, like the snack crates. I know I have one from Sweden. I also have one from Thailand and Spain that I'll be posting. And I hope you check out and enjoy those videos. And thank you for joining me on this adventure.